everyone. Thank you for joining another session from Excel and BI webinars, where we present different topics about AI and that help you to make your life easier. If you work with data, just starting, or you've been working for many years. Today is a special session because this webinar will be presented by Shilpa, and it's about she will be speaking about how AI can help you to create reports, but also how to do it in a secure way. But she will be focused especially in using Claude in Power BI. So if you have used Claude before for different reasons and you use Power BI before also, but you never combined before, this will be a great session for you. Shilpa has been working at Excel MBA for the last 2 to 3 months. She will be supporting us, and has been doing a great job on the Power BI space. And also, probably she will tell us a bit of her shortly. But I would like to give you a thank you for connecting this workshop. And if you have any question, just feel free to go to excelmbi.com, and then we'll be more than happy to help. At Excel MBI, we help people and organizations to do more with their data. And that means reportings, AI solutions, or something related with data purely. Okay. So if you have any requirements in the future, feel free to reach out and just go to excelmbi.com. And now I will introduce you and give the floor to Chilpa, and that way she will be start her presentation. Welcome, Chilpa.
Uh, Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Raymond, for the introduction. So, my name is Shilpa Sivijin, and I'm originally from India and currently working as a data analyst intern here at Excel BA. From the last 3 months, I am working there as a data analyst intern. So, today I am going to talk about the usage of AI safely in reporting. So, I'm also introducing the tools that I'm using every day in my work. So, let's jump on to the presentation. I'm going to share my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
visible.
Okay. So today I'm going to talk about how to use AI safely in reporting, and also I'm explaining about three main tools I'm using. So this section is actually for the people who wrote the DAX query, manage Power BI reports, and also clean data in Power Query. And also, I am talking about how to use AI safely, and it's mainly focusing on three things. First is safety. That's about how to share what you have to share with AI, what do not share with AI. Then the second one is the real tools that working in inside the VS Code, Pilot and Claude inside the VS Code, how it will work. And also, I will show you how to edit a Power BI template file inside the VS Code as a JSON file. So these are the three tools I'm going to explain today. Each tool does a different job. The GitHub Copilot is an AI autocomplete. It will work inside the VS Code. And we can use the GitHub Copilot mainly for a simple, quick suggestions. Like if we need to write a DAX query, like a simple one, it will help us to complete a code while we type. Like when we open the GitHub Copilot inside the VS Code and we start commenting and writing the code, it will help us to complete that code. Then the second tool is the Claude. Claude is really powerful tool, and Claude is the one we are using in Excel in BI. Claude is a thinker. When we give it a very big, a bulky or a messy task to Claude, it will reason through it and give you the full answer with an explanation. For example, give it a DAX query, it will give you back the full DAX query with an explanation. So it will make you understand what exactly it is. Then the VS Code. VS Code is the workbench. It is the place where we connect all these tools like the GitHub Copilot and the Claude. So inside the VS Code, we are working all these ones. Then the first tool, GitHub Copilot inside the VS Code. Today in this workshop, I'm not going to showing the live demo about the GitHub Copilot because it was not an AI assistant tool we're using in Excel in BI. So the installation of the GitHub Copilot is really easy. First, you need to open the VS Studio Code, Visual Studio Code, then install the GitHub Copilot from the extension. Then you have to sign in with GitHub, but you may require the Copilot access or any plan. But the third point is really important. When you need to work for a project, that real client project in your organization, you have to check your organization's policy. If the organization is allowed to use the GitHub Copilot only, you can use it. Then it's very easy. We have to open the PBIT JSON file inside the VS Code. Then when you start typing the code, it will help you to complete the code. So the right side, you can see the code. It's a example of a code. When you start commenting like gross profit with NSD format, it will help you to complete that code. There are a few shortcuts I mentioned here. When GitHub Copilot suggests you code, when you need to accept that, you press tab. If you need to reject it, press escape. Then you need next suggestions, press alt plus square bracket. Then go to the second tool, that is Claude in VS Code. So this is really a powerful tool, and it will help us to um, to find the result of a complex task with a clear explanation. You can use it in two ways. The first way is you can open in a browser. If you are a beginner, you don't need to install anything. Just open Cloud AI in your browser. Then also open VS Code side by side. So you can copy and paste the results uh, side by side. Like copy the code from VS Code, then give it a prompt, then the Claude will give you the correct prompt, correct code, then you can copy it, paste it in VS Code. So like that way you can use. The second one is Claude Code CLI. That is working inside the VS Code terminal. When you open the VS Code, then open the Claude Code inside the VS Code. When any file we opened inside the Claude, it can read the file, and also it can help you to edit the file without the manual copy paste. Then the right you can see the comparison table about the Copilot and the Claude. And the main rule of thumb here we can apply is GitHub Copilot is really good when we need a quick suggestion, a small DAX measure, or correcting any simple DAX measure. You can use Copilot. Then use the Claude when you need to edit 50 plus measures or very complex measure, use Claude. So each tool is each tool doing different job, but both are really good. But before using any of these, please check with your organization's policy. If the organization is allowed to use any of these tools, you can freely use that. Then the third tool I will show you in live demo is how to edit a Power BI template file as a JSON inside the VS Code. So a Power BI template file is actually just the template. It doesn't contain any actual data. It only the data model schema and the layout and the connection details. So it is very easy and safe to work with AI because there is no data. Then the PBIT file include mainly three parts. First one is data model schema. In that it includes tables, columns, measures, relationships. Then you can edit it safely. Then the second part is the report and layout. So report is actually complex when you edit. You can edit it, but it's complex. So when you deal with it, please be very careful. Then the last part is the connection. Connection includes the server names. So treat it as a sensitive content. So here I am showing the workflow how to edit the PBIT file, but within few minutes I will show you how to do that. Then this is the most important part of today's workshop, as how to use AI safely in reporting. Then I'm explaining which are the which things you can share with AI and what you do not share with AI. The green part is sharing what you can share with AI. The table and column names, DAX measure logic, M query, data model schema, error messages, all these you can share with AI. That is really safe. You don't have to worry about that. But when you do not share with AI these contents which are real client data. Any content related to the real client data, never share with AI. Then the revenue figures, the actual figures like the revenue, cost, margin, whatever it is, never share such data with AI. Then the third one is the connection strings, database servers name or API keys. Never share such important passwords also with AI. Then the last important thing is the PBIX file. You should know the difference between the PBIX file and the PBIT file. PBIT is a template. It only includes the report layout. So that is safe to upload to AI. But PBIX file is a file that actually contains the data, the real client names, the customer names, the real actual figures. So never share a PBIX file to AI. That's really risky. So um, be careful when you deal with real customer data. If you have any questions like if you need to find something from that, use anonymized data. Never use the real actual figures in with AI. Then these are the 4 exercises. So today I'm going to explain how to edit the PBIT inside VS Code using Claude. The same way you can edit the Copilot. Copilot is not an approved tool in our organization, so I'm showing how to use Claude. Then in that demo, I'm also covering all the 3 exercises. So share the I will start the demo. So I'm going to open a PBIX file. This is a mock dashboard I created with synthesized data. This is not an actual figure. So you can see this is a PBIX file. Now I need to make a PBIT out of this. I will save a PBIT form. Then I will show you how to edit that in VS Code. So here it is. It's still loading. Yeah, you can see. So this is the dashboard I made. It's a retail dashboard, but the data is not real. So now I'm going to save this as a PBIT. So click File, then Export. So you can see the Power BI template here. Click on that. Yeah. Then a text box opening. It's a description. So I already added a description, retail dashboard template. Then click OK. So the option will open. Yeah. So the demo PBIT, I will save in a different folder. So I'm going to save this. Yeah, here. It's a PBIT. Then save this as a PBIT. Okay. Then go to the folder. I save it as a PBIT. So now I have to make a backup file for a safety. Then now I'm going to make this PBIT folder as a zip. A PBIT actually a zip, but we have to change the extension as zip to make it as a JSON file folder. So we have to click S. Then now it's a zip folder. Then I need to extract the file inside this zip. So I will click the extract all. Then extract. So now we got the file. These are the plain text files in JSON format. So you can go to the folder demo copy. This one we need to open inside the Visual Studio Code. Then we're going to edit this part, edit the JSON file. So I'm opening the folder here. Now this one, go to the here, repository. So this is the one. So I open this one here. Yeah. Then I already installed the Claude code inside the VS Code. So when we use the Claude code inside here, it will be directly edit the file we open. So there is no need of any manual copy paste. So this is the file folder we created. This is the JSON formatted folder. Then we have to edit the data model schema. Inside this data model schema, we already know inside this there is mainly four parts: tables, models, tables, measures, then columns, and also the relationship. We can check one by one. So we press Ctrl F and you can search tables. Yeah, see, this is the table inside the dashboard. It's called fact sales. It's already inside the dashboard. Then the next part is the measures. Measures. Yeah, here the measures. This is the second important part. Then the third one is the columns. Here, the columns included inside the dashboard, the date column, the year, the month. Then the last one is relationship. Yeah, here it is. It's showing the relationship between the tables and the columns. And also another important part inside this is the lineage tag. You can see this is a long code, but you never have to touch this one because this is a internal Power BI ID. So when you touch this one, when you edit this one, the entire dashboard will may break. So it may be create some problem. So never touch the lineage tag. Then now I have to add a description to the measure. When you go and see here, when I hover over the total revenue here, you can't see any description. So if a stakeholder he has 50 plus measures, he has to know what is this measure actually explaining. When it's one or two or three, it's really easy to find what is that measure. But here it is, when it is like 50 plus measures, you have to add a description that will make the stakeholder to understand what is this measure actually saying. And also I'm trying to add, see, this is just a number, so I need to add a currency symbol as well, and also format this percentage. So I need to give a good prompt to the Claude to edit this measure part and make a good outcome. So we have to make a give a good prompt to Claude to get a better outcome. So I already made a good prompt. So I will show you that here. So in a prompt, it should contain main three things. The first one is the role. You mention Claude to perform like a this expert, so it will perform like that. So you mentioned the role here, you are a Power BI JSON expert. Then the second one is you have to give the task, what task you have to perform. Here I am adding three tasks. First one is format string. I need to add the dollar symbol. So I am it's giving a dollar symbol in this. Then the second task is making the gross profit percentage as the correct percentage format. Then the third one is description, to add a description to the measure. So this, like this way you can actually make a prompt, then add it to the Claude. So it will try to give a better outcome. So let's see what it will do. So now I give the prompt here. Then I need to paste the measures again. I'm searching measures here. We can see, yeah, the measure is starting from here, from 160 to Yeah, you can see the closing bracket is here. Then I copy this one. Then I'm pasting this one. Then you can see there is three important part in the prompt. First one is the role, second one is the task, and the third one is the outcome format, how you want the output. So here I am saying keep all the properties exactly as same like before, then return only the modified JSON array, no explanation, no markdown fences. So if we give a prompt like in a better way, we will get a better outcome. So now I'm enter the prompt with the code. So let's see what it will give us. Yeah, here it is. I hope you can see this one. Yeah, now it's better. See, this is the code it will give us. The before I pasted, there was no description, so it gives the description. Also added the format dollar symbol, and in gross margin, it's also added the percentage format. So I don't want to copy this and paste it again. So I'm asking it to directly paste this into the open file. Please directly edit this in the data model schema open. Let's see if it will do that or not. So Claude actually really powerful and it's really cool tool. Then it's very safe to use because it will ask you the permission before it's editing. You can see that, yeah, here it is. They are asking my permission to edit the file. We can see, is it editing? Yeah, it's going to edit this file now. Still running. See, this is working. Building the request. Yeah, it's adding the description inside automatically. I just, yeah, it is adding the format string, the description. Yeah, so it's already updated the file. So this is really cool. Like it's already added this automatically. I didn't do anything manually. It's just did that one. So now I edit the measure part by adding a description. So now I have to save this one and go to the folder which one we edited. So here it is inside the demo copy. So this one it's just edited. This is the folder it's just edited. So I need to repack it back to the PBIT format. So I'm selecting all this file, then right click, then compress to zip file. Then we got a zip file, final demo. I renamed it. Then we need to make it as a PBIT. So just change the extension PBIT. So now it's in PBIT format. We can open it and check is it made any changes or not. Let's check what it's happened. Yeah, now the dashboard is opening. Still loading the data. Just wait. Here it is. Yeah, see the dollar symbol added and the gross margin percentage is changed. And also, when you click on this, hover over to the total revenue, you can see the description. So when a stakeholder have lot of measures inside one dashboard, this is really helpful and it's really cool tool. You can use, or you can give a good prompt. It will give you a good outcome. So this is actually done by AI. Even Power BI didn't know anything what AI involved and made the changes. So we can see the changes here. So this is the way you can edit a PBIT file inside the Claude inside VS Code using Claude. This is the same way you can edit as using the Copilot. So back to our presentation. So now I showed you how to write a good Claude prompt as a JSON expert. So this is another example I added here. How to edit a SQL to a DAX measure. So mainly three things to remember when you doing a prompt. First one is give it a clear role. So here it is saying you are a Power BI expert, then the specific task. Convert this SQL to a DAX measure. Then the last one is output format. It's showing return only the DAX expression, no explanation. So a simple format of a good prompt is this one, role, the task and the output format. Then it will give you the good outcomes. A few minutes ago, I did the same. Then we able to change the PBIT file. Then inside the PBIT, I already explained this part. Like inside a data model schema, there is mainly four parts: table, measure, column, relationship, and the lineage tag. Lineage tag is the ID, so never change that one. Then this part, the bulk edit workflow. Claude is actually really helpful when you have 50 plus measures. Now I just edited just the four measures, but at the same time, if you have 50 plus measures, the same way you can request Claude, it will help you to change or edit the complex query. So if you are a beginner, you can use the Claude AI browser and do the same thing. So this is the wall session for today. Let's wrap up what I discussed in the presentation. First one, the three main tools are GitHub Copilot and Cloud AI. Then how to use these in inside the VS Code, and also I showed you how to edit a PBIT file inside the VS Code as a JSON. Then also discuss what you can actually share with AI, what you do not share with AI. So every tools are actually powerful, but safety make it last. Like when you use it very safely, it will last long. Otherwise you couldn't able to do it or make it for a long time. So this is the whole session. I hope this is really useful for you. Please let me know if you have any questions, and if you like this webinar, there is more upcoming webinars in our website. It's which is excellentbi.com/learn. You can go there and register. And thank you for listening me. Over to Raymond.
Thank you, Chilpa. Great presentation. Thank you for presenting. Now, Shagar and Sneha, I open the microphone if you have any questions.
Yeah.
So I just enabled the
Thank you.
microphone. Okay.
Thank you so
If you
much,
know,
Ramon. Thank you, Shilpa.
no.
Thank you, because I was actually wondering how certain things can be resolved, especially thanks for showing that you can add the data labels as well for the different kind of measures. I think that was an amazing takeaway for me. I just want to ask like two things. First is, we are aware that, you know, if you are working in a government organization, because I'm working in government, so there are certain restrictions of how we are using AI. All government are using, you know, at the moment our organization is allowing only Copilot, and right now we are still beta testing whether we can, you know, have a Copilot work with Power BI. Okay, so that's where we are at as an organization. So I do know that if you are an independent consultant or something, you can use Claude, because you have that, you know, freedom. But still, how would you put some guardrails around, you know, prompting, and then how would you put some kind of, you know, prep work before you even start prompting and doing any kind of reports? Just curious to know what would be the groundwork, in the sense sensitivity of data is something we have to keep in mind. So I'm coming from that perspective. Whether you're an independent consultant or whether you're working in a organization where you have, you know, already strict guardrails around using Copilot or any other AI tool, what would be one of the foundational things you would want to keep in mind before you prep for these kind of things, would you say?
Yeah. If you want me, I can answer that, Shilpa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Thank you for your question, Sneha. Just to put it in the, I will tell you some story that just how it worked for me, because you know that when AI has been launched, all of us we were scared that probably it will read all our files, it would take all our data and walk away with all our information. That was the
Mhm.
first is fear that I have. Okay, but then the you either and then actually I totally discard to use AI at all, and so that is probably it's not the right move nowadays because it's like we're seeing AI everywhere. So the way how we tackle it up, I have we have study and understand what things can be touched and what things can be not touched. And I put everything in a document and I share that with Chilp and the other intern who works for in Excel MBI. And I share that don't put anything in AI that our goal key, actually you prepared that for us, Chilpa. The golden rule for us is like we don't put in the prop any that we are not expecting to put in something like a LinkedIn post. If you're willing to put anything that is that sensitive, uh, you will be posting or not in something like so we treat the prompting in AI something like a public space. So we normally check reference. For example, we will see like same way you look in Google, how could I do this measure much better? So we restrict the kind of access that AI get access to it and only get access to measures, only get access to structures, only get access to modeling, but doesn't get access. There's a file in in Power BI. It's called the data, which is the cache of your data. As long as you restrict that the AI cannot read that, you will be safe. So that is the way how we do it. We restrict that information, and of course, has been a lot of training that I carry out with the guys that this is safe and this is not safe. For example, try it out. The first thing that we do with mockup data, and when you get practice, then you can move with production environments. This is how we do it. And I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for actually
Yeah.
sharing that. Because, you know, I'm coming from a perspective like how you would convince, you know, leadership in allowing that. So I think your yeah, answer is very well. And I really like the points that you made when you said that you use only measure, structure, and modeling, for example.
Yes.
And this could
Yes. We
change.
don't.
Yeah,
Sorry. Carry on.
yeah, this could change depending on the organization and also the outcome that you're trying to get to. So yeah, so sorry, you were saying something.
No, I'm just saying that. Um, I think that we have done AI commandment, which is say like those are the golden rules, and this is what we need to follow. I think training is key
Mhm.
because if you don't train properly, people have those questions: should I do this? Should I don't do that? And probably where they get quite scared to ask. For example, if you are the manager, to ask that multiple times. So in these golden rules, it's like, oh, okay, should I do this? And then they go this, and they can even put into AI and see and make AI to answer those questions because that is the kind of guide rails and governance that it apply. But I
Yeah.
found that actually I read an article some time ago that it says that people are relying more in AI chats nowadays because it's quite hard to ask to someone 10 times the same questions. But
Mhm.
you don't have that problem with AI. So we create this document to actually answer that. So if you put that document into an AI chat, you can ask 10 times the same question and then you won't feel a fear to ask that. And I think
Mhm.
it's good to provide those kind of documents because I've seen in organization where there's a lack of this kind of documents,
Right.
people doesn't actually really know what to do, and it's so
Yeah.
hard to get someone to sign off that guide rails.
Right. So what I'm hearing is basically the good practice would be just like how in like SQL querying you have certain rules saying that you would have table name and followed by da da da, and you have like a order of how you would write a query.
Mhm.
Similar fashion, you would have a document which has all the rules that you want the AI to follow, the model to follow, and you'll have to train it again and
Yes.
again. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's a document that we are currently reviewing so often,
Yeah.
and then I distribute it among the guy who will use the AI tool. Actually, I'm just checking if I have that available. If I don't, just send me an email. I can share you an idea. Okay. Or
Thank you.
Chilpa can
Thank you.
also share you an idea because she prepared this document, and I felt
Wonderful.
that because what I think that is correct doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily mean it's the same what Chilpa think what is correct because it's subjective,
Yeah.
and that is the kind of thing that you try to line it out in the guide rails.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks so much for patiently answering my question. I appreciate it.
No worries. Okay, I think that it was a great presentation, Chilpa. Actually, I didn't even use the PBIT. I normally use the PBIP, which is another way to do it. So actually, I learned something new. So thank you very much for your presentation. And then I will leave you the close up thoughts. Do you have any thoughts? How you felt in your? By the way, this is the first webinar from Chilpa, and
Yeah,
I just want to highlight that because you did it really well. So thank you very much.
yeah. Thank you, Raymond, because this is my first workshop like online.
Mhm.
So I was really nervous, and thank you for the audience to listen this very carefully and supporting us. Then thank you for giving me a chance to present this. I hope everyone like this one, and it will be useful for everyone when you editing the Power BI dashboard. And thank you.
Mhm. Thank you, Chilpa. This will go to in our webinar channel, so you will
Okay.
see it there. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a lovely day and beautiful rest of the day or night, depending from where you're connecting. Thank you, Chilpa.
Yeah.
See
Okay.
you later. See you, everyone. Bye.
See you.